Why are you so quiet? Why are you texting your ex-boyfriend these things?
Because he don't treat me right. Like,
your body is naked, wishing you were in the bed. Which bed? Your husband's bed?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. You didn't have to sign it. I didn't force you to sign it. You signed it on your own.
If I didn't sign it, what was gonna happen? He won't have your last name, you won't get to sign it. Did you not say that?
Okay, but...
Okay.
So how did you reach out to her?
Instagram DM, told her hey, she replied.
So how is she thirsty if he hit her up?
Thirst is going both ways, ma'am.
But he called her thirsty though.
I would admit I was being thirsty also.
Ms. Baker, the plaintiff, opens her case by stating the outcome of her marriage depends on the DNA results of her 3-month-old son, Caleb, whom she insists was fathered by her husband, Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker counters with a medical impossibility claim due to a vasectomy. He had 30 years prior, adding that if the results prove Caleb isn't his, he will leave. The tension in their marriage is palpable, underscored by the gravity of the DNA results on their future together. You won't believe what's coming up next.
Ms. Baker, you say the fate of your marriage is riding on today's DNA results. You are suing to prove that your 3-month-old son, Caleb, was fathered by your husband, Mr. Baker. And Mr. Baker, you say it's medically impossible for you to have a child, and therefore Caleb cannot be yours. Ms. Baker, you say the relationship truly is on the rocks.
At the time I got pregnant, I was drinking quite a bit.
This next part is a real twist. Mr. Baker details his vasectomy, conducted back in 1991, and emphasizes his belief in its effectiveness by mentioning the improbability of fathering a child post-vasectomy based on his research. He recounts his shock upon learning of Ms. Baker's pregnancy, initially doubting the pregnancy test's accuracy and fearing for his wife's health due to possible cancer. This moment underscores Mr. Baker's skepticism and the initial turmoil the unexpected pregnancy caused, highlighting the deep-seated doubts and fears he harbors regarding the paternity of Caleb. Just when you think you've heard it all, wait for what's next.
And I don't condone the actions that we took in our relationship. I was married, she was married. You have two people who are in a monogamous relationship come together the way that we did. There's always going to cast doubt on the back of your mind. How do I know she wouldn't do this to me? We did it to each other. And when we did that, we hurt a lot of people. 12 children today, but 11 children were deeply hurt because of the actions that we made.
Hold on, it gets even more intriguing. At 45, Ms. Baker's pregnancy is portrayed as nearly miraculous, especially given Mr. Baker's vasectomy and the couple's prior consideration of vasectomy reversal to have a child together. The narrative shifts to a blend of hope and disbelief, illustrating how the pregnancy rekindled their regret of not sharing a biological child. This twist adds a layer of emotional complexity to the story, mixing regret, hope, and the fear of the unknown. But the story takes an even more surprising turn soon.
Had instances in your previous marriage,
Yes, I do.
that you said were revealed on the national stage, the limelight?
Well, I know that she had went on a very public show.
Which show did you go on?
The Oprah Winfrey Show.
And I wanted you to confirm that because I actually do remember that episode. I remember your husband thought you were a certain amount of money in debt. You were lying and the number was like
Tens of thousands.
Exactly.
Yes.
Just when you think you've figured it out, Dr. Jamila Gator provides expert testimony on the possibility of fathering a child post-vasectomy, noting that while Mr. Baker's chances were slim, they were not zero. Her input shifts the narrative towards a scientific perspective, offering a glimmer of hope to Ms. Baker's claims and introducing a pivotal point in the case. This expert analysis bridges the gap between medical facts and the couple's personal ordeal, setting the stage for the resolution of their paternity dispute. You'll be on the edge of your seat with what comes next.
You say that it's medically impossible for you to have fathered this child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
Back in 1991, when my ex was pregnant with our 4th child, while she was pregnant, I had a vasectomy. And so based upon the research that I have done regarding vasectomy, once the procedure hits the 20-year mark, they literally put it into the realm of impossibility.
This revelation is heart-stopping. The climactic reveal of the DNA results confirms.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Baker, you are the father.
Dark versus Bailey. Mr. Dark throws a curveball, accusing Ms. Bailey of playing the field and casting major doubt on the paternity of her nearly a year-old son, swearing on his collection of rare sneakers that there's no way he's the dad. Ms. Bailey fires back, insisting Mr. Dark is the one and only father, and goes further, labeling him as the king of deadbeats. Strap in, folks, because this drama train is just leaving the station, and it's about to pick up some serious speed.
Mr. Dark, you say the defendant is a promiscuous liar who broke your heart 4 years ago, stepping out on on your then relationship. You admit to having a one-night stand with her 2 years ago, but are furious. Ms. Bailey is now claiming you fathered her 11-month-old son, which you say is impossible.
Better grab your popcorn because the plot is about to twist and shout. Mr. Dark dives into the epic, slightly hilarious backstory of their love-hate relationship, starting from the fateful swipe right, their wild dreams of a sitcom-worthy family life, and a dubious incident at a karaoke night that sparked his suspicions of Ms. Bailey's fidelity. These suspicions got a giant neon-lit confirmation sign when Ms. Bailey's so-called friend spilled the beans, leading to their dramatic first-act breakup. As we peel back the layers of this onion of a relationship, make sure you have tissues handy for the tears of laughter or sorrow we can't yet tell.
I've been knowing Miss Bailey for probably about 7 or 8 years, and she's had a history of things like this. And I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about myself and Miss Bailey. We was in a relationship for about 4 years. Everything was okay, everything was pretty good. When I first met her, we had some good conversations about establishing us a family and probably having kids. We lived together at that time. I left to go out of town to do some work. I was working out of town, out of state, as a matter of fact. I went to Florida to do some work in Florida.
But wait, there's a plot twist you didn't see coming. Despite their stormy split, Mr. Dark and Ms. Bailey found themselves in a It's Complicated sequel, leading to the unexpected plot twist of their child's conception. Mr. Dark, ever the skeptic, raises an eyebrow or two at Ms. Bailey's timeline of events, suggesting a paternity plot twist worthy of a daytime TV award. Brace yourselves because we're diving into a cloud of doubt thicker than fog on a San Francisco morning.
I thought you was cheating on me.
Okay, but...
So you admit you cheated on him?
I did.
And so your best friend told on you?
Yep.
What happened to your relationship with Miss Bailey at that point?
I tried to work past it, again, because of the things that we had already discussed of us being a family and us trying to work things out, possibly us getting married or whatever the case may be. But I tried to work it past for about approximately a year or so, but I just couldn't take it. I couldn't deal with it no more.
Now, we delve into the disputed timeline of the pregnancy, with Mr. Dark doing some math that doesn't add up, hinting that the stork might have visited the wrong address due to the curious timing of their last tango and the baby's grand entrance. The plot thickens to the consistency of Grandma's gravy, and we're here for it.
And then that means the conception window would be February 17th, February 24th, 2016. And you said you all weren't intimate until March.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And she had
I had
early.
him early. Like, I was due November 30th.
Oh, what, a 30th? Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Mr. Dark, is this doesn't add up.
No, ma'am, no kind of way.
At the hospital, Ms. Bailey launches a full-court press on Mr. Dark to sign the birth certificate, weaving in a spider's web of legal and emotional guilt, despite his ongoing paternity concert.
I was there when he was born. The onesies and stuff that he took home,
Okay, so
I
why
bought
did
for
you
them.
sign the birth
Pampers,
certificate?
What are you feeling in this moment?
Like,
What's
I don't-
upsetting you?
And the reason why I signed the birth certificate, to answer your question, is because you told me at the hospital that if I didn't sign it right then I wouldn't have another opportunity to sign it.
No, I didn't. You didn't have to sign it. I didn't force you to sign it. You
If
signed it on your
I
own.
didn't sign it, what was gonna happen? He won't have your last name, you won't get to sign it. Did you not say that?
Okay, but
Okay.
Ms. Bradley, Mr. Dark's latest flame, throws shade on the baby's family resemblance and brings her own bun in the oven into the timeline debate as Exhibit B. Gear up for a narrative somersault that'll make your head spin.
Do you know who your child's biological father is? That
Yes.
child, you do know.
Yes, I do.
So now history is repeating itself in this moment for you.
Yes, it is.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, question then is, were you intimate in February during the window of conception we outlined, February 17th to February 24th?
No, ma'am.
No.
Both of you said no.
Just when you thought we'd hit peak drama, the plot explodes. The air gets thick with accusations, past skeletons dance out of the closet, and both Mr. Dark and Ms. Bailey launch into a verbal fireworks display over fidelity, intentions, and who's the real MVP of messiness. We're reaching a fever pitch of confrontation, but the grand finale is still on the horizon.
What would you like to tell the court?
Well, first, in my personal opinion, I don't feel like the baby looks like. That's just my personal opinion.
So you do not feel like there is a physical resemblance?
No.
What else do you know about the paternity situation?
Well, my due date is November 19th. My conception date is February 24th.
Cue the dramatic music for the moment of truth. The DNA results sweep in like a season finale twist.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Dark, you are the father.
Strap in, folks, because you're not going to believe the roller coaster ride we're about to embark on. The gavel hits, and the legendary Judge Lake sets the stage for the showdown of the century, Hall v. Richards. In one corner, we have Ms. Hall, flanked by her no-nonsense mother, throwing the book at Mr. Richards for ducking out on daddy duties to little Damani, who's barely had time to see the world. And in the other, Mr. Richards, armed with a not my circus, not my monkey defense, claims Ms. Hall is just trying to snag him with a baby trap. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a wild ride.
Ms. Hall, you and your mother are furious with the defendant because he denies your 1-month-old son, Damani, and does nothing to support him. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Richards, you believe that Ms. Hall is claiming you are the father because she wants to be with you. You say Ms. Hall was thirsty for love and she needs to go find her child's real dad.
Grab your popcorn, because the circus is in town. Ms. Hall takes the stand, pouring her heart out about Mr. Richards' ghosting act on their son. But wait, Mr. Richards fires back, essentially calling Ms. Hall a love-starved, baby-crazy woman on a mission to anchor him down with fatherhood. The crowd's gasps and snickers underscore the melodrama, setting the stage for an epic soap opera twist. You think you've seen it all, but folks, we're just getting started.
You haven't done anything for the child at all,
No,
admittedly.
No, ma'am.
And that's because you sincerely doubt paternity?
Yes.
What's the nature of this relationship? Tell me, what was going on here? The baby's just 1 month old and everything fell apart already? What is going on?
A couple years back, he broke my heart, and I decided to give him another chance.
You all were boyfriend and girlfriend a couple years ago, or you were just dating?
We're dating.
The plot thickens as we dive deep into the tempestuous ocean that is Ms. Hall and Mr. Richards' past. Picture it, a whirlwind of breakups, makeups, and late-night you-up texts leading to this very paternity drama. The term thirsty gets thrown around more than a football at a tailgate, unveiling a tangled web of seduction, rejection, and deception. The story's getting juicier, and trust me, you'll want to stick around for the plot twists.
It wasn't just like I broke her heart in 2013. We had an issue. It was like broke both of our heart, I guess you could say that. This time, felt like maybe I was wrong for the way I ended things last time, so I gave her another chance.
So how did you reach out to her?
Instagram DM, told her hey, she replied.
So how is she thirsty if he hit her up?
Thirst is going both ways, ma'am.
But he called her thirsty though.
I would admit I was being thirsty also.
Things get real as we zero in on the conception conundrum. A timeline tighter than skinny jeans suggests Mr. Richards might be the dad, but whispers of betrayal and double-dealing cloud the waters. As we navigate this maze of maybe babies and could-be cuckolds, brace yourself for a bombshell revelation that'll make your jaw drop.
Because you just wanted to what? Date her again? Because you said to me you did it because you thought the last time it didn't really end right.
Yeah, that was probably something I told her that she wanted to hear, Your Honor.
No, you told me that. So don't tell me what you think she want to hear. Did you reach back out to her because you felt like you wanted to rekindle the relationship, or did you reach back out to her because you just wanted to be involved with her for the time being?
For the time being, Your Honor.
Feel the tension as Ms. Hall recounts the emotional roller coaster of her pregnancy and the nerve-wracking moment she tells Mr. Richards. His skepticism is as thick as molasses, adding fuel to the fiery drama between them. But don't change the channel. The next episode in this saga promises more twists, turns, and jaw-dropping moments.
It was like a fling. They stopped talking and then he came to spend time with her for her birthday and stayed a week. And when he left, it was, oh, I don't want you no more, and talking crap again.
So you went to stay with her for a week, Mr. Richards, and then after that, you basically broke up with her again?
No, Your Honor. I think I was there for no longer than 4 days. I had a reason for breaking up with her. The day I was leaving, I go to the bus. It was about 9, 10 o'clock. I found out the bus didn't come to where I was going until 3 o'clock that afternoon.
Both parties dig in their heels as the stakes skyrocket, lobbing accusations like grenades across the courtroom. Mr. Richards plays the infidelity card, while Ms. Hall stands her ground, swearing by her loyalty. The drama hits fever pitch, setting the stage for an explosive revelation that'll have you on the edge of your seat.
So when I go outside to get the water, I look across the street. It's the same dude I see coming out the gate. So I'm like, whoa. I didn't say anything, and I probably spent the rest of that day on the couch till the bus came. Officially on the bus, I sent the message, like, I seen the messages in your phone, but I seen the guy across the street, and that's where it ended. I told her to block my number.
Had you all made some type of commitment to one another? What would give you the right to take her phone, look in it, and then be angry if somebody was texting her?
She paying her own bills.
The air crackles with anticipation as the DNA results are unveiled.
Been determined by this court. Mr. Richards, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so White versus White, no pun intended. In a bold move to rescue her teetering marriage, Mrs. White decides to drop the bombshell about her colorful past and the paternity of her darling 3-year-old Savannah. Just when you think it's going to be a straightforward case, buckle up. This ride's about to get wild.
Ms. White, you've opened your case because your last and only way to save your marriage and family is to prove to your husband that he fathered your 3-year-old daughter, Savannah.
Yes, sir.
You admit you've cheated.
Picture the scene, the air thick with suspense. Mr. White's throwing side eyes, questioning if he's really Savannah's dad after Mrs. White's not-so-little oopsie of infidelity. He's on the brink of calling it quits if the DNA test doesn't say daddy. But folks, grab your popcorn because the drama train is leaving the station.
Really, Mr. White? A divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
Explain.
I just can't be with somebody that's gonna constantly cheat on me and have me raise somebody else's child. Savannah has the right to know, and I have the right to know.
And you love this little girl.
Yes, I love her to death.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any spicier, turns out Mrs. White has been playing away from home, not once, not twice, but multiple times since they said I do. The stakes for the paternity test are sky high, folks. Strap in. This roller coaster's got loops.
And now you just don't have any trust in this relationship.
No, because from a week after we got married until February of this year, I've been catching her cheating constantly.
A week after you got married?
Yes, Your Honor.
In a plot twist that has us reeling, Mrs. White spills the beans on her extracurricular activities, blaming a cocktail of feeling unloved and abandoned. She's pinning all her hopes on this paternity test to stitch her marriage back together. Spoiler alert, the drama llama has just entered the chat.
Yes, our anniversary is in 2 days, and so I want to make this right so we can better our marriage and just prove that Savannah is his.
You are certain Savannah is your husband's biological child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me about when you got married. Take me back to that time.
I moved in with them after a month of being together. Probably 8 months later, I ended up getting pregnant with our first child.
Just when you think you've seen it all, the Whites take us on a flashback to their whirlwind romance and quickie wedding, with Mrs. White owning up to her wanderings, but holding on to hope for a fairy tale ending. Folks, don't touch that dial. There's more juicy gossip ahead.
We ended up splitting up, and I was over at my mom's house, and he said the only way I can come back into the house is if I was to admit everything and be honest.
And he let you back home after that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Take me to that day. I can't imagine this happening.
I was hurt and I was pissed off, but and at the same time, it was kind of a relief because I knew for a fact that it was actually happening. It wasn't just, oh, it's an assumption, I don't know for a fact.
Just when you're ready to throw in the towel on love, bam! Texts and receipts of Mrs. White's adventures in Cheatingland surface, shaking the very foundations of trust and marriage stability. But wait, there's more heartbreak on the horizon.
Separate parents, but we still sit there and have a civil relationship for the kids.
Do you have any other reason to believe that your wife cheated other times?
I have text messages proof right here of the most recent is Valentine's Day. She went to another man's house while I'm sitting at the house with the kids.
Well, that's because you didn't even get me anything, and you were just yelling at me. You were treating me like crap and was gonna go to a friend's house.
Brace yourselves for a scandalous revelation that'll make your jaw hit the floor. More damning evidence of Mrs. White's indiscretions floods in, including some NSFW Valentine's Day surprises. But folks, the real showstopper is yet to grace the stage.
Your wife says, LMAO, could you do that for me? Miss White, why are you so quiet? Why are you texting your ex-boyfriend these things?
Because he don't treat me right.
Your body is naked, wishing you were in the bed. Which bed? Your husband's bed?
Yeah.
Mr. White, you submitted another text message? Oh, this is another guy. This is not the ex-boyfriend's name.
Get ready for the tearjerker moment as Mrs. White makes a heartfelt plea for her marriage, shedding light on the tangled web of emotions, the undeniable bond with their children, and her vow to turn over a new leaf. The finale is looming, but it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
Miss White, why are you entertaining all these men on text?
Because he doesn't show me anything.
Always with the
He's not there for me.
Always pivoting, you're trying to put it off on me. How you expect me to treat you the way you want to be treated when you're sitting here sexting other people and doing all this other stuff? Somebody something they want when I'm getting treated like I'm just a piece of crap.
In a finale that'll have you on the edge of your seat, the envelope with the paternity results is opened, and lo and behold,
it has been determined by this court. Mr. White, you are her father.